Okay, so so what does this mean then for an expanded vision of rural education policy and indeed the leadership roles assumed by rural educators and administrators? First, it means that the vision should go well beyond the more conventionally defined boundaries of schooling and educational and include the ways in which schools represent a critical part of rural community economic development, social well-being, and community sustainability. And this vision of rural educational leadership, I argue, is pragmatic. It's not pie in the sky. It's pragmatic in the sense that the priorities of quality educational provision and strengthening communities are not mutually exclusive, but they're deeply interconnected. So rethinking this relationship between rural education and rural development means going beyond a discussion of education that focuses on test scores as a standard measure of academic achievement and school success to reconsider and strengthen the school-community linkage with an eye towards creating new opportunities in rural communities that capitalize on the strong connections and commitments of place that many young people feel in rural areas. And it also means thinking flexibly in ways that take into account these unique assets, the unique conditions that are present within rural schools and rural communities. Okay, so rural schools as drivers of rural economic development. Educational attainment without economic opportunity is likely to result in the outmigration of a rural community's best and brightest. But this can be changed if local opportunity structures can likewise be changed. By providing skills and education to cohorts of young people, schools help to create a competitive workforce that represents a strong asset to local business. Further, a strong school is an important community asset that reflects not only the residential decision-making of households with children, but also where employers choose to locate. Beyond these factors, however, schools can additionally work in more purposive ways to enhance local economic development opportunities. School community partnerships, for example, can integrate academic and vocational education in numerous ways through service learning, building collaborations with local businesses through job shadowing, mentoring, and school-to-work programs, and apprenticeship opportunities. And this can accomplish several goals at once, I think. First of all, it strengthens the formal and informal ties between local educational, business, and social service institutions, enhancing coordination and communication. And this enables educators to gain clear ideas regarding workforce and post-secondary training opportunities for young people, as well as the skills and knowledge in demand for these positions. Secondly, it helps to build connections between young people and local businesses. This provides young people with real-world skill building and important opportunities for evaluating possibilities for local employment, while at the same time providing businesses with the possibilities to attract the next generation of workers. Some might see school-to-work system benefiting only the individual student and the potential employer, but the ultimate success of school-to-work partnerships might be in connecting students to their community and future work by giving them a better understanding of the rural place in which they live, the opportunities that are there, and where they may someday work. Young people also represent a critical, though often overlooked, asset in community development and community building. And this is ironic to me, given that it is young people who arguably have the greatest stake in the future of their communities. Schools can enhance student voice, agency, and participation through educational and administrative practices that work strategically to create new opportunities, norms and structures that enable young people to become both partners and collaborators in school and community change. Place-based education, while not necessarily specifically oriented towards community or local economic development, can nonetheless have development outcomes. So I've written elsewhere, for example, about rural place-based initiatives. Projects like this occur in schools across rural America, yet for the most part go unnoticed, much to the disadvantage of the broader knowledge base regarding school-based educational initiatives that dovetail in a variety of ways with local rural development efforts. So rural school engagement and community development is not simply a matter of retaining young people within rural places, keeping them on the farm, and stemming rural outmigration, but rather the goal is to strengthen and support local economies while providing young people with new and perhaps unanticipated imaginations for adult life within their home rural communities or a community like it. a future local life that at the same time does not preclude and in fact may even encourage an extended period of living experience outside the home place. Successful community development efforts will be deeply reflective of local opportunities, needs, and constraints, and therefore, perhaps to the dismay of policymakers looking for a quick fix, both deeply dependent upon local knowledge and resistant to external templates for prescriptive intervention.